we're going to start this breathing practice in a comfortable seat. Take a second and settle in. Stretch and breathe. Today, we're going to practice a breathing exercise that's going to help boost our energy. It's going to help boost our brain function, our digestion, our respiratory, give us a little bit of a natural energy boost as we move through some stretches that will do all of the same for us. It's going to help reduce our anxiety and our stress. So find this comfortable seat. Take a big deep breath in and out. Nice big inhale through the nose. Sighing it out of the mouth. Let's do that one more time. Big deep breath in. And sigh it out. Let's slowly close the eyes or bring the gaze to the floor and draw the chin to the chest. Let the head hang heavy for just a second. And I just want you to check in with your body, acknowledging any sensations that you're feeling. Maybe taking a second to feel any of those areas that have tension, acknowledging those so that as we move through our stretches today, we can hopefully eliminate that tension. Maybe focus on the breath and what it's doing for you naturally. And then I just want you to start to stir the pot. I've used this term before. We're going to take some circles with our rib cage, rounding the spine, pushing the spine out, tucking the hips, almost like a seated cat. And then we're going to roll the rib cage to the left, press it forward, and roll it to the right. Nice, big body circles. Take your time, a little bit of a stretch, just a little bit of movement, and then we'll go the opposite direction. You can keep the eyes open or have them closed, whatever works for you. Very good. Now let's settle in to this spot. Let's turn our palms up, and we're going to start practicing this Kapalabhati breath, the breath of fire, the skull shining breath. It's going to illuminate our skull. It's going to wake up our brain and give us some natural energy. We're going to practice this breath in 30-second intervals. It is a passive inhale with a forced exhale. That forced exhale, you're going to contract your abs as you breathe out. And the inhales and exhales are equal in length. We're going to practice this a couple of times to start class, and then we'll go through some stretching, and then we'll practice a couple of times at the end of class. The more we practice this, the better it will be, the easier it will become. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go in about 5 seconds. It's a nice, easy inhale with a forced exhale in 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Back to your natural breath. That might seem difficult at first. We're trying to keep the breaths equal. We're trying to contract the core as we exhale, and those inhales come passively. Practice makes perfect. We're going to try that again. Take a moment, find a couple natural, easy breaths, and we'll start that second round of breath of fire in 5 seconds. Breathing in and out of the mouth in 3, 2, 1. Good, and relax. Find that natural breath. You can take this practice, this breath of fire, slow at first until you find it a little bit easier to do, and then pick up your pace. We're going to go one more round, starting in about 10 seconds. Again, try to keep that breath in and out of the mouth. Try to keep those inhales and exhales equal, and try to remember to contract the core on that exhale in 3, 2, 1. And relax. Find a nice, easy breath. Close the eyes and start to round the spine into a cat. Tucking the chin. Big, slow, deep inhale as we press the chest forward. Exhale here. And again, round the spine. Take a seated cow. Inhale. Stretching through the back. On your exhale, let's bring it forward. Bring that chest forward, lifting the chin, and take a big deep breath in here. Good, let's do that one more time. Tuck the chin, tuck the hips, around the spine. And slowly start to press that heart forward as you lift the chin. Take a nice tall seat and let's bring the chin to the chest. And we're going to slowly roll the left ear over the left shoulder. We're going to keep this neck stretch dynamic today, meaning we're going to keep it moving. So we'll bring the chin back to the chest and we'll roll the right ear over the right shoulder. Constantly moving, we'll draw the chin back to the chest and the left ear back over the left shoulder. Bottom half circles. Chin to chest, right ear over right shoulder. Chin to chest. Good. Left ear over left shoulder. Now from here, I want you to draw the chin over to the left shoulder. And we'll slowly lift the chin up the left side, circle it to the center and over to the right, drawing it down towards the right shoulder. Again, we're going to keep this continuous. We'll lift the chin up the right side, circle it through the center and over to the left. Good. Up the left side, through the center, and to the right. One more time. Up the right, through the center, to the left. Slowly draw the chin to the chest. Good. Let's lift the head to a neutral. You can keep the eyes closed or open, whichever you prefer. We're going to open the legs into a straddle. Sit nice and tall. Find a stretch on those inner thighs, letting the toes point up. We can set here. If our stretch is here, you can lean forward, walking the hands out in front if you like. Finding a stretch on those inner thighs. Our first stretch. Take it nice and easy. Keep that spine long. If you can keep the eyes closed, you're going to help focus and connect the body and the mind. Or keep the eyes open, whichever you prefer. We're going to slowly bend that right leg out in front and take that left leg out to the side. Both legs will be at a 90 degree or an L shape. Find your way there. And then we're going to lean over that front leg, stretching out through that right hip. We can walk the hands out in front. If you have more space available, you can come down to the forearms, finding a deeper stretch in that right glute. Good. We'll sit it tall. And we're going to take the knees up to the ceiling. Shifting over to the left side. You're going to have the right leg out to the side and the left leg in front. Both legs will come at a 90 degree. Find your way there. And then we lower down over that left leg to find a stretch in that left glute. You can stay up tall or you can come down to the forearms if you have space. A little bit of dynamic stretching today, meaning we're going to keep it moving. We'll lift the knees and then we'll bring the feet together. And just walk the heels out a little bit. We want to keep the legs off the ground and keep the knees bent. And we're just going to roll forward, folding on top of the legs, wrapping our arms underneath the legs and giving ourselves a big hug here. Separate through the shoulder blades. And then squeeze the chest and the thighs. Very good. We'll bend the knees, bringing the feet flat to the mat. And we're going to slowly roll back, drawing the knees into the chest. Stretching out through the low back. We want to pull the knees in as tight as we can, lifting the hips off of the mat just a little bit to find that back stretch. We'll take a slow rock side to side to massage that low back into the mat. Very good. Let's let both feet come down to the mat and let both legs go long. Take your time and reach the arms up overhead and let's take a big stretch. Reaching the fingers and toes in the opposite direction. Arching the back. Good. And then we're going to roll onto our right side. And then keep rolling until you're on your belly. We're going to bring the palms underneath the shoulders, untucking the toes. You'll lift yourself up, lifting the chest off the mat. Now, if this is uncomfortable for your low back, you can come down to the forearms. Take a big deep breath here all the way down to the belly and feel the core stretch out. And then we're going to lift the hips and push it to a child's pose, stretching out underneath the arms. Keep walking the fingers forward to find that stretch in the back of the arm and maybe down the sides. Slowly lift the hips, round the spine into that cat position that we had to begin class with, and then slowly again lower the hips down to the mat, lifting the chest, lifting the chin. Take a big deep breath here. Good. We're going to lift the hips, tuck the toes, and press into a down dog to stretch out through the backs of the legs. Maybe pedal the feet if that feels good, pressing one heel to the mat and then the other. Good. Let's press both heels to the mat at the same time, and then press your chest closer to your legs. We're going to walk the feet in to meet the hands. Standing in a fold, we're going to stretch out through the calves all the way up into the hamstrings. Let the upper body hang heavy, maybe shake out the head and neck, taking some pressure off the vertebrae, giving our spine some space. Slowly start to roll up one vertebrae at a time. And when you get to the top, bring the arms up and take a big inhale. Arch the back, reach behind you. And then we'll slowly let the arms come down to the side. You'll feel a stretch in the arms as we release them. Then we're going to take our feet out wide. Pointing the toes out just a little bit at a diagonal. We're gonna slowly fold forward, reaching for the floor, but let the arms relax, let the head relax, tucking the chin to look behind you. Letting the hips go high, finding a stretch in the legs, maybe on the inner thighs, maybe in the hamstrings, depending on where you're tight. And then slowly start to roll up. We're going to bring the right arm up overhead and take a side bend. Reaching that left hand down the left leg, finding a stretch in the low back or maybe in the front of the hip. Again, depending on where you're tight, you can let that hand come all the way down, resting at whatever space you have available, reaching that right arm high. If you want to go for a deeper stretch, you're going to bring that right arm over the right ear. Very good. Let's slowly lift it up. We'll lower the right arm and lift the left. We're going to take that side bend to the right, finding that stretch, maybe through the hip, through the low back, depending on where you're tight. Let that right arm just rest to the leg, lifting that left arm high. Keep the neck in line with the spine. Don't let that neck droop down. And if you want a deeper stretch here, you're going to reach that left arm over the left ear. Very good. Let's bring it back up top. We are going to shift our toes to the left side of the room. And in doing so, we're going to come to the tiptoe of that right foot. As we do that, we're going to squeeze our glute on the right side and feel a nice stretch go into the front of that right hip. Pressing that heel back, keep that leg nice and straight. Squeeze the glute and find that stretch in the front of the hip. Good, let's slowly lower that right knee towards the floor. We're going to reach our right arm up and take a little bit of a side bend here. It doesn't need to be big. Finding a big stretch down the right side body into that hip. Good, let's bring it up. We'll slowly turn back towards the center and then turn towards the right. Turning the toes towards the right side of the room. We'll come to the ball of that left foot. We're going to press that heel away, keeping that leg nice and straight. You're going to feel a nice stretch come through the left of that front hip. There we go. Nice tall spine, big deep breath. Let's reach that left arm high and we'll take that side bend nice and easy. Stretching out through the left side of the body, down the front hip. Good, we'll bring it up and slowly just lower that left knee just a little bit, enhance that stretch. And let's bring it up. Let's step the feet together and slowly fold it forward. Letting the arms hang heavy, let the head be heavy. Lifting the hips high, keeping the legs straight to find the stretch down the backs of the legs. Good. We'll bring our hands to the mat. And if maybe you need to bend your knees to let your palms come all the way down. We're going to step the right foot back and then the left and just lower to the knees. We're going to keep the toes tucked, pressing the hips all the way to the heels to stretch out to the bottoms of the feet. Reach the arms long and find a stretch on the back side of the arms here. Good, we'll round the spine, lift into that tabletop, and then untuck the toes and walk the hands back to sit the hips to the heels, finding a stretch on the front of the foot. And we're going to interlace the fingers behind the back and open up the chest, pulling the palms and the forearms close together, pulling the shoulders down and back, lift the chin and open up the chest. If you can, slightly pull the arms away from the body, stretching out through the shoulders, deepening that chest stretch, maybe stretching out through the biceps. Very good. Slowly release that. And let's find ourselves back in that cross-legged seated position that we started in. We're going to go back to that Kapalabhati, that breath of fire breathing practice. We're going to practice 3 more rounds. They're going to be those 30-second interval rounds. And again, just focus on your breath. Really try to contract the core as you exhale and practice your breath of fire. We're going to start in 5 seconds. In 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go. And relax. Close the eyes, relax your spine. Take a couple of natural breaths. Take a moment to notice any sensations you're feeling, any energy, any warmth. Big deep breath in and out. Another big, easy breath. We're going to go back to that breath of fire for round 2. In 3, 2, and 1. And relax. We close the eyes around the spine. Relax. Take a second to observe your breath and any sensations you're feeling. We're going to go back for round 3, our final round in 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Let's close the eyes. Relax your spine, relax your posture. Take any wiggles that you need to. And then settle into the seated position, keeping the eyes closed, relaxing the arms onto the lap. And just observe all the things that are happening in your body. Maybe your throat feels a little energized. Maybe you can feel the warmth in your core, or all the way to the crown of your head. Picturing this illuminating light that comes from this breath of fire. Let that illumination come from the crown of the head and start to cover your entire body, all the way to the shoulders, down the arms, covering the hips and the legs, providing this warmth like the sun. Picturing that illuminating light from your head all the way to your feet. Letting your face soften, shoulders soften. Noticing how relaxed the arms and the legs might feel. And quite the contrary, maybe you're feeling tingling sensations through the arms and the hands. Just observe whatever it is you're feeling. Take it in with a big, deep inhale. And slowly sigh it out. When you're ready, you can blink the eyes open. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me today for Stretch and Breathe.